Welcome back, 7th grade historians. Let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we are kicking off a massive, exciting new 13-week unit, and this right here serves as your official assessment rehearsal. We aren't just going to sit around and memorize a bunch of dusty old dates. No way. We're going to break down the exact standards you'll need to master to totally crush Unit 2, A Changing World.
So, our essential question for the entire unit is this: why do new ideas transform whole societies? It's honestly fascinating to think about historical shifts like they're modern viral trends. Think about it. A single app can completely rewrite the rules of modern society in a matter of weeks, right? Well, throughout history, new concepts in art, science, and governance did the exact same thing. They just went viral in a slightly different way. And over the next 13 weeks, we're going to track exactly how these viral ideas spread across this chronological roadmap. We'll start way back in the early Americas before the 16th century. Then, we'll journey through the massive cultural explosion of the Renaissance and Reformation between the 14th and 17th centuries, dive into the scientific awakening of the Enlightenment in the 17th and 18th centuries, and finally land right in the era of revolutions and industrialization.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, Early Americas and Economics.
Before we can really talk about a changing world, we have to understand how the existing world actually operated. So we'll focus heavily on some basic economic principles, specifically production, distribution, and consumption. You're going to see firsthand how early American civilizations survived and traded. It's like seeing how growing a single crop, like maize, completely shaped entire regional networks way before intercontinental connections changed everything. Moving right along to Section 2, Renaissance and Reformation. You know, people often think the Renaissance was just a period of pretty paintings, but it was so much more than that. It was a profound cultural and intellectual movement that brought the Middle Ages to a hard, definitive stop. This era basically acts as the spark. It proves that one single massive cultural shift can absolutely shatter centuries of unyielding tradition. Let's actually look at our first worked example of the unit here. It's a really dramatic before and after. Think about the rigid, locked-down social structures of the Middle Ages and compare them to the sudden burst of new representative ideas, stuff powered by insane innovations like the printing press. By comparing these two worlds, the sheer speed of this historical transformation becomes absolutely undeniable. Now, since one of your main assessment goals is to trace causes and effects, we are going to constantly use this super handy 3-step framework to figure out exactly how these historical ideas went viral. Step 1, a new idea appears. Step 2, cultures interact and react to it. Step 3, society transforms rapidly. Whenever we're digging into our sources this unit, we'll run the events through this exact model together. Which brings us to Section 3, Enlightenment and Revolution. Okay, the Enlightenment is where things get really intense. This was a period totally focused on brand new scientific and political ideas that directly challenged how people were being governed. Basically, this intellectual movement forced societies to question absolutely everything about their rulers, which eventually sparked literal on-the-ground revolutions and completely set the stage for industrialization. Next up, Section 4, Changing Societies and Identities. Our anchor for this unit is a really key standard: understand social systems and structures and how these influence individuals. Because as we examine these rapid global changes, we aren't just going to look at old maps and peace treaties. We are going to focus on how these massive, sweeping structures trickled all the way down to reshape the daily life, the core beliefs, and the actual identity of the average everyday person. Let's pause for a quick misconception check. Do new ideas only change technology and government? It is so incredibly easy to assume history is just this dry record of new inventions and kings. But new ideas don't just change tools and borders. They completely redefine how individuals see themselves. That shift in human identity, that is the real revolution. Finally, Section 5, your mission this unit. Here is your evidence-based student check. These are the 4 specific outcomes you need to hit. First, you'll need to actively trace causes and effects, literally mapping out how early ideas led to massive societal shifts. Second, compare reform movements, like analyzing the Renaissance and Reformation side by side. Third, explain new ideas by breaking down the science and politics of the Enlightenment. And fourth, evaluate industrial change to judge those rapid global transformations. Being able to demonstrate these actions will prove you truly understand how this changing world operated. So to quickly recap our explainer today, we are embarking on a massive 13-week journey together.
We'll start grounded in early American economies, travel across the Atlantic to witness the Renaissance shatter the Middle Ages, and finally head into the intense Enlightenment and Industrial Revolutions. You have your assessment targets and you know the historical roadmap. I want to leave you with this. If a single new idea, like the printing press or a radically new philosophy on human rights, could completely rewrite society back then, what new idea is changing your world right now? Keep that provocative question in mind as we start this unit, because history isn't just about memorizing the past. It is literally the blueprint for understanding our future. See you in the next explainer.